Good morning, beautiful people. I hope that you are all doing well today. It's Friday. I'm sure we are all excited. I'm happy. Friday is my day off. And here I am, still working. But I was guided to pull some cards for all of you lovely people today and to see what pops out and what we can talk about. I promise it won't be a long video. Well, maybe, you know what? I shouldn't promise because I never know what's going to happen or what Spirit wants me to talk about. But I am in my home. See, I'm never away from work. In my home office today. And I figured I'd pull some cards, like I said, I was guided to, before I get outside and go for a run. Hopefully I can get outside and go for a run today. Although it looks beautiful out my window. I love looking at my beautiful tree in front of my house. It always gives me such positive feeling and energies, and that's the reason why I wanted to set my home office facing my front window so that I can look at this beautiful strong tree that helps to ground me a lot. And as usual, I love to play music. There's always music playing in my home all day long, or when I'm home anyway. And you may hear that little chirping in the background. That is my little buddy, my little friend, my Pepino. I just put her in her cage because she was flying around crazy. I didn't want her disrupting the video. But I will eventually have her come out and be on camera with me. Right, Pepino? So if you hear any chirping in the background, it's just her wanting to be heard. So again, I wanted to pull some cards and see what pops out today, to see what we need to talk about. And you could always reach out to me through emails. You can email me at reikibyisabella@gmail.com if there's any topics that you would like to discuss or talk about or want me to create a video about. And I'll do my best to create it. So for all of those who do not know who I am, my name is Isabella, and I am an intuitive empath and Reiki master and teacher, and the owner of Reiki by Isabella. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope that you all have an amazing day. So let us pull some cards. You know what's been coming up strong is this week has been a very, very emotional week for many. From what I'm gathering, including myself, the energies, Mercury Retrograde, all of this stuff has been so intense for a lot of people. A lot of things that are being brought up from our past that we are being forced to look at again. But don't look at it as a bad thing, you know, and I don't even want to use the word forced to look at. In a sense, it's more of becoming aware of it. You know, when it shows up, it's because there's something in that situation, something in that experience that we as individuals need to still heal within ourselves. So it will come up, and you know, Mercury Retrograde is good for bringing all of this stuff up. And Mercury Retrograde isn't, I don't want to call it the devil. It all depends on how you look at it. You know, you can look at it as, oh my gosh, this is making me crazy, and I'm so tired of all of this energy, fluctuations. It's draining the hell out of me. It's bringing up all of this old stuff, and I really don't want to deal with any of it. And it's the devil, because I don't want to deal with it, right? So we want to run away from it. But it's coming up because we really do have to face it. So if you look at it as more, okay, I'm going to just sit back and allow all of this stuff to come up to the surface, start to look at it, start to allow all of the emotions that come up with whatever is coming up. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. It'll help you to get through it. So if you look at it more in a positive way, a way of kind of like cleaning out our closets. That's what I like to tell a lot of my clients with Reiki, It's like cleaning out our closet and getting us back and connected to ourselves, to our truth, who we are, our authentic selves, right? Reiki does help you to do that. It helps to release a lot of that stuff, or help you to begin the healing process so that you can let go of all of that clutter. That clutter, that's what I want to refer to it as. Clutter that we're holding on to, that we've been holding on to for so long, that really all it's doing is holding us back and it's keeping us from moving forward. It's frustrating as hell. And at this time, with all this stuff coming up to the surface and things, it's almost like we're being challenged again. We're being challenged. It's kind of like the universe saying, okay, let's see how far have we come. We're going to present this situation to you again, this experience to you again. And let's see, how do you choose to deal with it? Do you choose to deal with it in the old way that you may have dealt with it, like suppress it, run away from it, keep yourself distracted so you don't have to deal with it? Or are we going to make the conscious effort to now sit with it, allow it to come up, allow those emotions to come through so that we can feel it, feel the emotions that come up with it? We really need to be with our emotions, because our emotions are part of who we are, and our emotions are what is going to help us grow. And this is what really creates a lot of the internal blocks that a lot of us go through. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Our thoughts create our reality. It creates our own hell and our own heaven, all depending on how you choose to look at things. So we really need to take a look at all of that stuff. And the blocks, the energetic blocks, are created by suppressed emotions that we've been holding on to from way back when to present day. So all the emotions that are connected to experiences that we've gone through in our lifetime that we chose to suppress because it was just easier to suppress and to get through normal everyday life. It's easier to just suppress than to allow ourselves to feel. Nobody wants to feel, because emotions, they suck. They don't feel so good, right? But it really, really, really is important for us to feel those emotions, because again, that is what's going to help us grow. That's going to help us to get in touch with ourselves. Our feelings are us, right? Our emotions are us. It's our reactions to experiences that we've gone through. It's all part of this journey. It's all part of learning these lessons that we're supposed to learn. And everything is coming up so heavy for so many people now, again, because we have Mercury Retrograde happening, the moon energy, just a lot of stuff. But as awful as it may feel, know that we really do need to finally make that conscious decision to really just sit down with ourselves, not run away, not distract ourselves with other things, but to truly, truly, truly sit down with ourselves and allow all of that stuff to come up to the surface. It's so important for us to acknowledge all of these things that are going on within ourselves so that we can start that healing process, so that we don't have to continue to go through this over and over and over and over. And as difficult as it may feel, and as much as we don't want to feel those emotions or acknowledge those experiences, we really need to. Because what's going to happen is just going to keep showing up. It's just going to keep showing up in some way. Things that we didn't heal in our past will show up in another experience. It's just going to keep repeating itself over and over until we actually will sit down and make a conscious decision to okay, I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. I am ready to release a lot of this stuff. Healing is a process, and it all depends on where you're at in your journey, on your path. But it really is important for us to just sit down and be with ourselves. That's how you discover who you are. That's how you discover where you're at, where you've been, where you would like to go, where you're going. we have to take that quiet time to just be alone and just see what it is that we need to work on so that we don't continue it, and carry it moving forward. We need to do that shadow work, that dark part of us that we've kept suppressed, that really is doing more damage and harm than good. Even though on a temporary basis you feel okay and you feel like you're good and everything is okay, and why do I have to deal with any of this stuff? Because it's gonna just keep showing up in the next situation, in the next experience, with the next person, with the next job, with the next, it's just gonna keep showing up. Do you really want to continue to repeat old cycles? Or do you really want to just say, okay, I had enough now? I am so ready to just let go of all of this stuff so that we can make new memories, create new things in our lives, go in the direction that we truly want to go in, And yeah, you could, some people probably say, well, I don't even know what it is I want to do. And a lot of people don't really know what they want to do. But you can't keep distracting yourself and holding yourself back and not allowing yourself to connect with yourself, because that's only going to, again, hold you back, right? So sit down with yourself. Be alone with yourself. Take some quiet time. Meditate. Let those emotions come up. Let those thoughts come up. Stay with them. Feel them. Don't run away from them. Don't push them away. Don't continue to suppress them. And again, because of the energy and the way that it is going and moving right now, and it's moving so quickly, and bringing up things so hard and fast, we really need to, hello, like my pretty little plants. I'm not even sure what it's called. Or I just seen it and I was like, wow, I like you. And I want to take you home with me. Sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. Because I kind of just went that way and just see my little flower whispering in my ear. Saying, hello, good morning. Thank you for bringing me home with you. I love being here. I'm just being silly. But see, there you go. That's what we need to do. Instead of staying in that heavy energy, try to lift your vibration a little bit, Don't resist it either, And like I said, because this energy is coming so fast and so quickly and so hard right now, it's because we really are supposed to see it. We're supposed to feel it. We're supposed to understand what it is that's going on so that we can take care of it, heal it, release it, right? And again, as I was saying earlier, it's important for us to take that time to be with ourselves and allow us to really process all of that stuff. Try to understand where it's all coming from. Ask, what is the lesson in this experience? But we're also going to be affected by these emotional things coming up, because again, it's coming so quickly and so fast, so it may show up throughout the day. Just take a minute to just stop, say, okay, I acknowledge you. If you're busy and you're working, you may not even feel it anyway, but if you all of a sudden get this emotion that comes up to the surface, if you can walk away, go to the bathroom or whatever, and just let yourself feel it, or just say, thank you for sharing. I try to remember what it was that came up, write it down, record it on your phone. And then when you are in that space alone by yourself, I want you to think about it again and allow it to come up in whatever way it needs to come up. Once you think about it, it's going to start to come up again. You're going to feel all kinds of discomforts, emotional discomforts. Acknowledge all of it. You might feel like your heart's breaking. You might feel lightheaded. You might feel really sad and emotional. All of a sudden, just start crying. Just let it happen, because it needs to happen. Like I said, I know if we're at work or busy in whatever we're doing, we Of course, we don't want to have a breakdown in the middle of our workday. And for the most part, a lot of that stuff may not even come up when we're busy, working. But if it does, if you feel like something is coming up and you're feeling sad, or you're thinking about someone, or if you're thinking about a situation or anything like that, take note of it. Mentally take note of it and just say, okay, this is coming up for a reason. So when I am by myself at home, I really do want to just sit down with it and try to see what it is that is being shown to me. What is coming through for me? What is it that I'm supposed to see in this? What am I supposed to feel? And more importantly, how is this making me feel? What lesson am I supposed to learn from this? Why is this showing up in my life, But again, you have to be in a quiet place without distractions to allow it to come up. It's really important. The most important part, we always hear people say, let go, let go. And, most people will be like, well, how do you let go? It's so difficult. Like, what does that even mean? So letting go is basically just allowing ourselves to consciously be aware of whatever is coming up in our consciousness, our awareness. So let's say you were in a relationship, right? And the relationship ended, and you were hurt by it and affected by it in a very deep way. And it's affected you in so many ways. It's made you really sad. It's made you question all kinds of things about yourself, of why you would allow things, all of that stuff that comes up. For one, you need to first acknowledge it, right? You need to forgive yourself for feeling like you did something wrong when you know you did not. You didn't do anything wrong. And even if you did, you have to forgive yourself. Still forgive yourself, Again, forgiveness is more about... Oh, did you hear that? I have my music in the background. As soon as I said forgiveness, you just heard it. They were talking about forgiveness. I tell you, spirit is funny as hell sometimes. It's just like breaking up all these kind of songs, because I'm very connected to music. Here I'm talking about relationships, and what this song is, Love Reunion. Like, really? What are you trying to tell me, right? But back to... All right, so back to what I was talking about. So really, basically, what letting go is really just making the conscious decision to take control of the situation. So when I say control of the situation, it's really just acknowledging it. Allowing yourself to feel whatever it was, that came up. Whatever emotions were coming up, right? And when we take control of it, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to look at this, and I'm not going to allow it to control me or make me feel like there's something wrong with me, or that I'm not good enough from that relationship in itself, right? But just kind of look at that, notice that, and see that. And know that, again, it's an experience. It's a lesson that we're supposed to learn. And we're talking about relationships right now. So any relationship that you've ever been in, we have learned something from it. Or it was meant to show us something that we were supposed to learn about ourselves. It's just a lot of times we don't look at it that way. We kind of look at the breakups and the wrong choices and the wrong decision as, what's wrong with me? Why didn't it work? Am I not good enough, right? But you don't want to look at it that way. You want to look at it as, okay, every relationship that you ever go through, and yeah, I know we're talking about love relationships right now, but any relationship, it could be relationship in family relationships, it could be work relationships, it can be any of that kind of stuff. Every one of those experiences in those relationships has taught us something about ourselves. And if we talk about love relationships, every love relationship that we've been in, we're learning something about ourselves. We're learning what we want. We're learning what we don't want, right? What And as you continue to grow, you're going to get to a point in your life where you're going to be like, okay, I'm not blaming myself anymore for failed relationships, because failed relationships are not just a lesson that we're supposed to learn, right? Failed relationships are also learning to love ourselves enough to know what it is that we deserve, right? What we deserve. And that means standing in our power and asking for what it is that we want and what we need. Not being afraid to use our voice. Communication is so important, especially in a relationship. You should really be able to express yourself freely and clearly without feeling like, oh, I don't want to say this because how are they going to react if I say that? Then you're not being true to yourself. And all you're doing is suppressing how you feel again, right? You should be able to express how you feel. You really should not feel like you cannot say things because you're afraid it's going to affect the relationship or the person is not going to accept you. Well, guess what? If they don't accept you, then they don't belong in your life, right? Because we should never dim our lights for anyone. We should never hide ourselves, our true identity of who we truly are for anyone or for anything. When you do that, all you do is block yourself from being who you truly are. You stop yourself from being who you truly are. You have to, again, these relationships are teaching you something. You just have to be aware enough to understand that there's a lesson in it. We shouldn't take it as, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep ending up with these kind of people? You know, there's something wrong with me. You know, why does this, why that? No, again, it's teaching you something. There's something within yourself that you need to heal. And most of the time, it's more about self-love. We don't love ourselves enough. Because if we loved ourselves enough, we wouldn't tolerate a lot of the things that we allow ourselves to tolerate. You know, we allow it. We allow it. You know, and people will show themselves right from the start. We just have to be open enough to see it. You know, we can't be in denial. We have to look at everything. But you should always be able to speak your truth, express how you feel. Never be afraid to speak up and communicate. That's not good. You want to be able to. And you have to be strong enough to say, without expectations, that if this person cannot appreciate or allow you to express what you need to express, then you don't need to be there. Because you should be in a relationship where there's give and take, and you should be able both to express to each other how you're truly feeling, what you need, what you want, what's going on. You should never have to be afraid to speak up about how you feel, because you're fearing that you're going to lose that person, right? Or situation. Never do that. Never dim your light. Do not dim your light. Do not. Let me tell you, you hide that part of who you truly are, life goes by very quickly. And we will get to a place in our life where we feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe all these years have gone by. And then you will get to a place in your life and say, I no longer, and this is when you step in your power and you ask for what it is you want and deserve, okay? You have to know that you're good enough. And you should never let those relationships define who you are, okay? They leave our lives because they're not supposed to be in our lives. They may have just shown us something that we needed to learn. If they were truly meant to be there, they would be there. And they would be able to talk to you and communicate with you and express with you and grow with you and be there to help you create the better version of you and you a better version of them. You know, it should be give and take. It never should be one-sided. If you're in a relationship that's one-sided, you really need to take a look at that and really be seriously trying to understand why that's happening. Because it shouldn't be a one-sided relationship. There always should be two involved in a relationship. You should be able to talk and discuss and grow together. So I don't know how I ended up on relationships. I guess it was something that I guess the spirit wanted to talk about it. I think it's because there have been so many people, especially this week, it's been pretty heavy. A lot of my clients, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of people who are thinking of past loves, or past loves are showing up in their lives, and it's creating and bringing up all of those emotions again to the surface that we thought we got rid of, right? We thought. But guess what? Here it is. It's coming up again. Why? Because we need to really feel it. We need to really acknowledge it. We need to heal it. We need to release it. We need to let go. So again, letting go is about making that conscious decision. The conscious decision and taking control of the situation. So, sorry, I got distracted. A message was coming through. And my Pepino keeps chirping. I hear you. I know you're there. You have to be quiet, okay? Be quiet. It's okay. Go sleep. Sorry. So again, it's making a conscious decision of taking control of the situation. When I say taking control of the situation, this is part of letting go, is allowing ourselves to acknowledge whatever it was, whatever that situation was, whatever that experience was, and allowing us to feel whatever those emotions were that were connected to that experience, and allowing ourselves to feel those emotions. Because when we can start allowing ourselves to feel 100%, feel all those emotions, we are in essence starting the healing process. When we keep it suppressed, all it is doing is blocking us energetically. It's blocking us from moving forward, or it is attracting another relationship that's similar to the last relationship, right? So when we can express and acknowledge these things, we're taking control. We're not allowing it to control us, because that's what those thoughts are, that mental thought, those mental thoughts, mental conflict. It's controlling us when we do that. But when we finally just sit down and say, okay, it's coming up for a reason. Let me take a look at this. Why is this coming up? Let me feel this. I don't care how much it hurts, how much you have to feel that emotion. Do it. Because that is going to help to not only clear all of that mental conflict that you're having over it, it's going to allow you to take control and be empowered now and not let it control you, okay? Because when you are constantly thinking about a situation, you're letting it control you. So take control of it. Allow yourself to sit with it, and don't be afraid of those emotions that come up with it, okay? Because it's important for you to see that, to feel that, to know that. And you're making more space every time you acknowledge these things. Every time you feel these things, you're releasing a little by little by little by little. And it may come up again. So just stay with it. Keep staying with it. Keep feeling it. Keep releasing it as many times as you have to do it until it comes up to the surface. And now you no longer have that emotional connection to it. You're kind of like detached almost from it. And not in a bad way. It's just you're not allowing the energy, which is those emotions, to control you anymore. You're not letting it stop you from even moving forward. You're not allowing it to make you feel like you're not good enough and that you don't deserve anything, that these things keep happening. They keep happening because we're not acknowledging what it is that we're supposed to learn from it, right? And again, if we don't start to heal this, we're going to either attract the same type of relationship, or we're going to just continue to allow it to control us mentally, right? We need to release it so we can make space within ourselves. And when we take that power back from it controlling us, there's your empowerment. There's your strength. Because now you know, okay, it's okay that I went through those things. And, and you thank energetically, you thank the situations, because each one is teaching you something. You're learning something from it, hopefully. Hopefully. Well, but if you're not, it's only going to show itself again. So just know it'll repeat itself again and again and again. I look at a lot of relationships in my life, and they repeat it themselves in so many ways over and over. And I never really, until I started becoming more connected to myself and becoming more spiritually awakened, I really didn't see that pattern. But there was a pattern. There definitely was a pattern, for sure, and it all stemmed back from my childhood, daddy issues. As much as I hate to say it, I love you, Dad. I made peace with him now. He's passed on, and I've made peace with that whole situation, and I see him, he's smiling. But when he was here, he did the best that he could do, and I always felt like I wasn't good enough, and that he never really was there for me. And that continued, not realizing it consciously, because, you go through life, you don't even know, because we suppress a lot of that stuff, especially as children, right? And we don't even know, we're kind of like reacting, or not reacting, that's not the word I'm thinking about, but it's like we kind of recreate it over and over, because we're still searching for what it is that we lacked, in that original relationship. It's so important, I feel, with females especially, to have a decent relationship with their dad, because it really does, if we allow it to, it really does affect our relationships as adults when we grow, especially because most of the time we don't realize that's where it's all coming from, but there's so much information out there, and there's so much, we have all these issues, but it did repeat itself over and over in a lot of my relationships. I found a lot of similarities in a lot of my relationships. But, I had to go through what I had to go through to get where I am right now, and to know what it is that I deserve, and that I am good enough, and, and I'm happy with who I am. And I choose not to allow myself to ever go back to that way of being ever again. And when you can get to that place, and it's been difficult. It's been a difficult journey as far as relationships go, because I feel like that's been the hardest one for me my entire life, is the relationship thing. But, you get to a place where you're finally standing in your power. You're telling yourself you're good enough, that you're not searching for it anymore on the outside. And when you actually can truly look at yourself and really love yourself, and you'll go through moments of sadness. Everybody does. We're human, right? We're human. Not superhuman. We're human. So we have to go through all of those emotions and feel all of that stuff. But I feel like when you can get to that place where you are really accepting of who you are, loving who you are, knowing what you deserve, knowing that you are enough, you're going to attract that same vibration, the same frequency into your life. And as I went through life and began to grow and develop, I started to learn more and more about where a lot of the stuff came from. I started to attract different types of relationships. There was some similarities, and other things, but different each time. As I grew, it got different, more different. A lot of triggers, a lot of triggers that bring up a lot of triggers in us. But each one of those triggers, each one of those experiences, again, is a lesson learned, a lesson we're supposed to learn. And you do get to a point then where you finally can just look at everything, know where it's all coming from, and say, okay, I know exactly what I want and what I don't want, right? People change, and grow. That's what we're supposed to do. If we don't change and we don't grow, then we're really going to just stay really stuck. And our whole purpose of being is to grow. So just, accept all of that stuff. Allow it. You know, let it go through. Feel the emotions. Don't run away from it. Don't distract yourself from it. Know what you want. Know what you deserve. Know that you're enough. Love yourself enough, you know? It's a process. It is a process because, again, it's deep-rooted stuff that some people aren't even aware that it's there because it's been so suppressed or so repressed for so long that they have no clue until they get to a place of being a little bit more awakened and say, what the hell? This stuff just keeps showing up over and over and over. Like, okay, I'm ready to hear you, universe. Tell me, what am I supposed to do? Help me. Help shake my world up. You know, and they will shake your world up, especially if you keep repeating it too much. It's like here comes those tower moments, you know, and those tower moments, they're rough. And I've been through a lot of tower moments, probably more than ever in just this last year, from last spring all the way to you know, present day. A lot of clearing, a lot of growing, a lot of understanding, a lot of connecting, you know, a lot of healing, you know, but all good, you know, because if I didn't go through any of that, I wouldn't be where I am right now, understanding this and being able to guide other people, you know, in understanding as well and seeing for themselves. So again, it's just more about you making a conscious decision of taking control of the situation. And that, again, means, let me just be with this now. I can't run away from this anymore. I have to allow myself to feel this because it's just going to keep showing itself. Really, it's just going to keep showing itself over and over and over and over. And it gets really exhausting. It really gets exhausting. So be true to yourself. You know, love you. Love you. You know what you want and what you don't want. That's important. You know, when you've gone through enough experiences in your life and you've learned a lot of lessons in your life, it's really just being clear with what it is that you do want now at this point. And all of those lessons are supposed to teach you, what is it that I truly want now in my life, right? And allow it to happen. You know, what is it? Write a list. You know, this is what I want. This is what I no longer want. I want to let go of this way of being and become this. This is the kind of situation I want in my life. This kind of relationship I want. I don't longer want to be in this. You know, you'll know. You know, it's your journey. It's your life. You know, so only you know what you want and what you don't want. Okay, so this went longer than I thought because I really just came on here to pull some cards. But I guess I was supposed to speak about it. I think more so because there's just so many people that are so sad. And I feel so bad for so many people, you know, because it's like there's so many people that are lonely and confused and they're going through so much stuff right now, and it's questioning, you know, themselves and trying to figure out, why am I here, you know, and why is this happening to me? Why is this stuff coming up for me? It's coming up for a reason, because it's time. It's time, honey. It's time for us to create exactly what we want. So pay attention to those things that are coming up because they're surfacing. They're surfacing. I have to tell you, a lot of childhood traumas are showing up in a lot of people. And I feel like it's time to heal our childhood because this is where a lot of this has started, where it was created, you know? So a lot of people are dealing and remembering. They're really remembering, you know, the hurt and the deep wounding. I have to say I had a very interesting session one time. And my dad passed away a few years ago. And like I said, I never really had a relationship with my dad. But he's come to me in dreams since. And we have healed that. You know, we've healed that part. You know, he's apologized. I've apologized. So, I mean, the forgiveness was done through spirit, you know. So he appeared, and he doesn't usually come through other than like in dreams. But he appeared during a session that I was holding with another woman. And I was like, well, what the heck are you doing here? This is not for you. What are you doing here? Because usually the deceased energies that come through are connected to the people I'm working on, right? So why would my dad be coming through, right? But I guess he came through for a real reason. And again, like I said, a lot of stuff is coming up. But anyway, he came through, and he was smiling and happy. And the way he appeared to me was in a cloud, just like in a cloud with this smiley face, because he did have a great sense of humor. I can't take that away from the man. He did have a great, kind of like probably why I take after him. I take after him as far as that goes. Very witty, very charming, very funny. And I could look back now because we've healed that, and I've healed that part of me. With him through him being deceased and connecting to spirit. And I can actually look back and see who he really was, and why he was the way that he was. But anyway, aside from that, which makes it easier to forgive, right? And it's in any situation too, if you think about it, if we can get past the hurt. So we're talking about, again, this, well, for whatever reason, this is coming through for the love relationships and the women, females who have had daddy issues. And there's males too. A lot of males out there too that have a lot of daddy issues too, where they were really rough on them, really rough on them, which has affected them in the long run, and why a lot of them are the way that they are, a lot of that comes from that. It comes from our conditioning. But anyway, so my father came through in this session, and I asked him, what was he doing here? And I'm like, because I was confused. I was like, well, what the hell is he doing in my session? I mean, my God, what's he doing here? But, I have had these energies come through in someone else's session for their loved one who may be coming next, in the next session. And I have to tell them, okay, you have to leave. It's not your turn yet. But anyway, he came through. And then I heard a voice in the distance. And I heard another voice that said, I'm here too, who he's with my father. So apparently my dad had brought in another dad that was connected to the person that I was working on. And of course they gave me some, because I wasn't sure who the person was. And then finally they told me who they were, and they showed me some stuff, and then it was validated afterwards. But what their point that came through is my father brought him in because the person that I was working with, which also had gone through, daddy issues and things like that stuff, to do with it. It was pretty profound. It was a pretty profound week, I have to say, with a lot of my sessions. And it was just to heal. For healing. It was for her to understand that they just want us to move on and be happy, and they don't want the past. And the thing is that, they were unaware of, they were just operating through what they knew, how they were taught. They just wanted us to know that it's okay, let it all go now. It's okay, we love you, we apologize. It had nothing to do with us. It was just their own way, and the way that what they've gone through, and how they were, and who they were, and how they were programmed, and how they were raised. And they didn't know any better, They didn't know any better. And I remember one time my father had come through, and he had explained that he just didn't understand my energy, because my energy's always been different than anybody else's. Like, I grew up always hearing, you're Miss Know-It-All, you know it all, you think you know it all. But I do. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just, I did. I was always right. But it was just my empath ability. It's just when you're an empath, intuitive, you have an inner knowing that about people, places, and things that you don't even understand. And as a child, you don't even understand at all, right? So you would say things or do things, just because. And it would come across to other people who were unaware and didn't understand as a know-it-all. A know-it-all, like you think you know everything. So I kind of, I understood that. But anyway, it was more of a message of healing and forgiveness. And it was more about, okay, this has been a big part of our lives and the relationships that we were in. And these dads wanted to, my dad and her dad, wanted to just make it clear and wanted to clear the air and bring peace and healing and forgiveness, because they just wanted us to move on without feeling like we're not good enough, or we did anything wrong, And like I said, it took me many years to get to that place. But this was really for the person who I was working on. Her dad came through loud and clear. So needless to say, it turned out to be a very emotional, sad, but happy healing moment. So like I said, it's really just, we need to let go. We need to learn how to let go. Because, people tell you, let go. But how do you let go? You know what I mean? It's like, how do you let go, right? What do I do? How do you let go? And it's difficult to let go, But like I said, when we make a conscious choice to take control of the situation that's been stopping us and has been blocking us, which is this experiences, that we have not let go. And we know we haven't let go because when it comes up, we feel all those emotions again, and then we suppress again because we don't want to deal with those emotions. But that's the control. Allowing yourself to allow it to come up so that you can allow yourself to acknowledge it, feel it, so that you can start to release. And you are, in essence, you're starting to release it when you do that. And it may keep showing up because every experience that we go through has more than one emotion connected to it, right? So we may not be able to get rid of it all in one shot. There's other emotions that we have to go through from that experience, the first thing's the heartbreak, the sadness, the rejection, the abandonment, not be good enough, all of there's so many different emotions attached to different situations. So sometimes we have to go through each one of them, and that could be what takes us a little longer to get through that situation, that experience, and what holds us, holds control over us, because we're still holding on to it, right? But the first step is acknowledging it. Second step is being with it, staying with it, allowing yourself to. Most people, like I said, to get through life normal as possible, they will suppress. Or if it shows up, they don't want to deal with it. They run. They run really far away, fast to distract themselves. You name it. They do something to distract themselves, It can be, addictions. It could be, just keeping yourself so busy that you don't have time to think. And then when you come home, you're so exhausted, you pass out, right? You watch TV, you eat, you all these things that you distract yourself from because an emotion is trying to come up. And it's trying to come up because it needs to be healed, right? Oh my goodness, look at the time, 48 minutes. I didn't want this to be a long video, but here I am in the comfort of my home, watching the beautiful tree and hearing all the trucks because they're doing some kind of, I don't know what kind of pipes and sewer work out there. There's all kinds of construction. Men all over the place running around, making lots of noise. But anyway, I got comfortable, so I'm sorry. So let's get back to, let's pull a card. Let's pull a card and see what comes up for my beautiful people. So I hope, and I know, like I said, that was kind of heavy, but it came up for a reason, obviously, right? Here I am communicating it, expressing it. Because I think it's something that a lot of people are trying to deal with, or are dealing with, I should say, at this point in time, because of this energy, that's coming up. I like this song, When I'm Around You. It's a good song. Ooh, that one fell out. Oh, you cannot make this stuff. I swear you cannot make this stuff up. Look at this. Look what came up. Healing. Healing. Love spirit. We're healing every day, and we're going to heal to the day we die. There's always going to be something. But the difference is, as we begin to learn that a lot of the experiences we've gone through are really lessons for us to learn, every time another one shows up, when we're aware that it is that, just that, we're going to release it and heal it a lot quicker. So pretty much, I mean, I really, just looking at this card, what does that look like? You know, a girl who's trying to heal her heart. She's trying to open up her heart chakra. You know, looks like she's been crying, trying to figure it all out, you know, and but what stands out is the light by her heart that she's holding in her hand, you know, that healing energy there. But I'm going to read it anyway, because, you know, the book explains it better. Even though, okay, I see you. It keeps whacking me. I love it. It's so pretty. And I got a bonsai tree too. The bonsai tree just kind of called me. I love it. I just love plants and my bamboos and everything. This is my space away from my office. So let me see. Here we go, my lovely, lovely, lovely people. So here we go, healing this poor girl. She looks like she's been through the ring, girl. I feel you, honey. I feel you. I've been there, done that, honey, many times. I feel you. Illness and pain in your body is a message for you to slow down, look within, and make important changes. If you are experiencing stress, feel overwhelmed, are suffering ailments in your body, or feel exhausted and depressed, it means that your body is trying to communicate with you. Your body wants you to start treating it in a more loving manner and listening to the message it is sending you. You need to become conscious of the areas in your life that you are avoiding or suppressing. Healing takes time. It is a process. Your first steps towards healing is to create a safe, loving, supportive environment where you can listen to your inner wisdom. There you go. Like we were talking about from the beginning. That I just went on and on about, really. It's like, okay, we need to create a space. You know, we need to be with ourselves. We need to allow and acknowledge the stuff and allow it to come up so that we can start feeling it. We can start acknowledging. We need to make a conscious decision and take control of the situation and not allow it to control us, right? That's the challenge. That's hard to do. It's not easy to do, but we really need to do it, right? So there's also an action here. That's what I like about this deck. It'll tell you what some of the things that you can do. Okay, so in this action, what it says for the healing process is, here's just a little thing that you can do. Take a few deep breaths and relax your body, right? So relax your body. Be connected to your body. Stay connected to your body, right? Try not to have any distractions. Pino, stop distracting me. Place your hands on an area in your body where you have pain. So let's say you're feeling some discomfort in your heart chakra, in your heart. Place your hand there, right? Ask your body, is there a message you want to give me? This message may come to you as thoughts, words, images, insights, feelings, memories, etc. Okay, so when you're sitting there taking those deep breaths and you place your hand where you're feeling the discomfort or you're feeling, you know, a block in that area, you'll know it. You'll know it instinctively, because when you're taking your breaths and you allow yourself to connect to your body, you're going to know exactly where you feel uncomfortable. It could be your heart, it could be your throat, it could be your stomach, which is solar plexus, it could be lower. You know, you'll know it, you'll feel it. It could be your back, it could be wherever. When you're connected to those deep breaths and you're by yourself, on your own, and you're connecting, you'll know exactly intuitively where that energy block is coming from, okay, where you're feeling that pressure. So you're going to place your hands in that area and say, I call on my divine healing intelligence to help release all pain, blockages, and density from this area. Watch and feel as dense energy leaves your body. You will notice that. You will notice, like I said, once you're connected and you are connected to your body, all right, one with yourself, you're gonna know where the pressure or discomfort is. You're gonna place your hands there, right, and then you're gonna say, I call on my divine healing intelligence to help release all pain, blockages, and density from this area. Watch and feel as the dense energy leaves your body. And it's kind of like what we were just talking about, right? It's taking control of the situation, making a conscious decision to take control of the situation. So when you take control of the situation, as you are doing with this action, this action to helping you with the healing, okay? You're taking control because you're taking those breaths. You're allowing yourself to identify where that energy, heaviness feels in your body. You're placing your hands there and you're asking for that energy to be released, right? So you're taking control. It will start to subside. And if it doesn't, just still stay there. Stay there as long as you need to stay there, okay? You'll know when it's time to remove your hand from that area. And then say, I call on my divine healing intelligence to infuse this area with a green ray of light. And green represents the heart chakra and love, right? So green, it could even be pink because that all represents the same thing, love, right? Love for you're loving yourself by doing this now, helping yourself to heal. So infuse this area. Once you identify where you're feeling the heaviness, and once you ask for the energy to be removed from you or released from you, now you're going to ask to heal it, all right? So once it's gone, you want to also be able to heal it now, right? Because it's kind of pieces sticking out. And this is, done in Reiki sessions as well. It's like when I release a block of energy, that's stuck, I also will I always call in Archangel Raphael to come in and help to heal that area that I just released the block from. So you're intuitively, when you're doing this on your own or doing the same thing in essence, you're asking to call in a green light, a pink light. You could even call in Archangel Raphael if you want. He's the Archangel of healing, right? Call him in and ask him to help heal this area now, okay? I ask that all the immune mechanisms of my body be activated and my body now return to a state of perfect balance and health. Imagine a green light moving through your body and repairing it. Gently bring your awareness back to normal and open your eyes. And that's pretty much it. So again, as we were speaking earlier, to start taking the steps to consciously making the decision and the choice to now heal and to release, that situation. Doing that meditation that I just told you. And I'll place it below too, just so that in case you forget it, because remember I'm telling you, unless you watch the video again and again and again, that's totally up to you. You can do that too. Just don't forget to subscribe and like. Just put that out there. But yeah, I want to do more and more videos of showing you how you can do a lot of this healing, self-healing, on your own, when you're on your own. So that is one of the steps. I'll try to place it in below that meditation. It's called a healing meditation, right? I think I want to pick, because oh my goodness, it's already going on an hour. It's a lot. See how I spend my day off? I still can't go nowhere. They blocked up my driveway. There's trucks everywhere. There are all these little construction men running all over the place. All right. So I'm going to pull from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to pull one card for Divine, from the Divine, for the... I wasn't ready. I want to pull... Sorry. Hello, I see you. It's such a goofball. It's my day off, I'm goofy. Yeah, I know, Peppino. I see you. I see you. I'm not going to open up the cage because then she's going to come flying all over the place. Not today. Maybe another video. But I also want to pull a card now for the feminine energy to see what Spirit has, what message Spirit has for the collective feminine energy. And remember, we have both feminine and masculine energy. So just take it whichever way it applies to you. We have both. So we're going to do one for the female, the feminine energy. Let's see. What is the message, Spirit, for the collective feminine energy? What is the message for the feminine collective? Ooh, okay then. It's making me get my exercise. Up and down. It's okay, I could use some solar plexus stomach exercise. All right, so for my feminine, collective feminine energies, the card that popped out is New Beginnings. And I feel like so many of the feminine energies are at this place of new beginnings, right? Because it's the beginning of a new cycle. So we're starting brand new, right? And learning and continuing this healing that we're supposed to be doing for ourselves. You know, some of the things that we talked about is going to help us to begin the new beginnings and all of the things that we have learned about relationships, because it seems like this video is geared towards relationships. I guess I'll put that in the topic. Healing relationships. Perfect. Healing relationships. Okay. That's exactly what we're doing, right? This Mercury Retrograde is bringing up a lot of old shit. A lot of old shit that needs to still be healed. You know? And even though this has been mostly on love relationships, this has been on love relationships. Relationships is with anything. Your family members, your work, you know? We want to see what's going on. We want to heal it. And then learn from that experience, knowing what it is we want, what we don't want, right? Hopefully we learn from that experience. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't learn, it's going to show itself again. So that's all I can tell you. All right, so new beginnings. Here we go. New beginnings, starting with 0. That means we're starting all over again, meaning now we can recreate our lives the way that we want to, not allowing all of our experiences from the past to define us, not allowing any of that stuff to stop us anymore. We're at a place of awakening now. We're at a place of total awareness, understanding, spiritual awakening. We know where everything came from, most of us, right? And if not, it's okay, because we still have lots of time to learn, and we will continue to learn to the day we die and go through lessons. So here we go. Each and every journey begins with the all-important first step. When this card presents itself in your reading, it's confirming that it's time for you to take a brave leap of faith. Do you see? Faith. Have faith. But be prepared as you do so. This card represents that a great new adventure is awaiting you. I'm ready for a new adventure. Hell yes. Bring it on, honey. Already. It usually shows up when there's a significant inner change happening within you. By selecting this card, it's a sign that those important choices are needed and are about to be made and should be carefully pondered as you proceed with wisdom, thought, and care. Life is constantly trying to nudge and move you forward. At times, it can be daunting when you're faced with a new adventure or direction. Therefore, it calls for inner belief and courage as you take a leap of faith and step into the unknown. During this time, don't be alarmed if you feel lost or even confused. Most people are afraid of change and play it safe by staying where they are. Know that through inner guidance, wisdom, and a belief in yourself, and by tapping into these tools, you'll be propelled forward on a positive, life-changing path. Don't conform to what society or other individuals expect of you at this time. It's your own adventure. During this time, be like an innocent child with fresh eyes and give yourself permission to live, play, love, and above all, laugh. Right? Laugh really does heal the soul, you know? Try to, when you're in a place of feeling despair and sad, try to find something amusing. Think of something amusing. Watch an amusing movie, something that makes you laugh. Listen to uplifting music. Like I said, I'm always listening to music, so I'm so damn silly. Because my vibration is up. Not to say that it's always like that, because, you know, life happens. And I'm human too. So I will go through a lot of ups and downs myself. And this week in itself has been very, very trying for me. It's been a rough week. It's brought up a lot of things. And it's okay because I'm acknowledging them, right? I understand where it's coming from. So that new beginning was for the feminine, the collective feminine energy, all right? And remember, we have both feminine and masculine energy. So whatever one identifies with you, it's for you. That message is for you. So let's pull now for the collective masculine energy. What is the message for spirit? What is the message for the masculine energy, the collective masculine energy? What do we have to tell our masculine energies? What is the message for them? What is the message for them? What is the message? Message for the masculine energy. What? Shh, quiet. It's okay. Be quiet. Mama's right here. Right here. I know you want to give me kisses. I know. I'll give you kisses in a little bit. Right? Oh, here we go. Oh, you poor masculine energies. Poor babies, you know. I tell you guys, masculine energy. And like I said, it could be female, it could be male, you know, whatever way it resonates with you, right? The masculine energy. And I feel like the masculine, and I feel sorry for some of the masculine energies too, because you know, that's again, it's energy, but I'm going to refer to it more about the man. Masculine energy. This is masculine energy, okay? They, I feel like, have such a difficult time. I'm not going to say all, you know, most have such a difficult time expressing themselves, you know, and it comes from conditioning and programming. Like, you know, you're a male, you're not supposed to be sensitive, you're supposed to be a man. You gotta be a man. You can't be sensitive. Yes, you can, and you should be, because man or woman, masculine energy or feminine energy, you know, it's energy, and you should be able to process your emotions. You should be able to express the things that are going on with you, because it's not just the feminine energy is going through shit, the masculine energy is going through shit, you know? So it's understandable. You just have to be able to express it better, you know? And it's okay. Speak your truth. Speak from your heart, you know? Don't take because you're a masculine energy that's not cool, you know, to be vulnerable. Yes, it is. Because again, honey, it's not about what society thinks or what people think. It's not. It is about you. This journey is about you, and every experience that you go through is for you. And you have emotions just like the feminine energy has emotions, right? So you should be allowed to express that and not feel like it's not okay to be vulnerable. Because again, at the end of the day, my darlings, this journey is about you. It's not about anybody else. It's about your lessons. It's about your growth. It's about you being you, you becoming you becoming a better version of you. So if you think about it, let's just say, how are you becoming a better version of yourself if you're consistently carrying this stigma that masculine energy are supposed to be a certain way and not allowed to be, you know, vulnerable and sensitive, and you're not being yourself then, are you? Right? You're not. You're being what you think you're supposed to be. You're not being true to yourself when you do that, because again, now you're being what you think you're supposed to be. You know, masculine energies, they, you know, they follow in their dad's footsteps. But who's to say your dad was right? Right? Who's to say your dad was right? Because at the end of the day, that was their experiences. That is the way they chose to deal with it. That was the way they chose to learn their lessons, right? It had nothing to do with you. It's just what they programmed or conditioned you to believe. But here we go through life feeling stuck all the time. I'm talking about the masculine energy, female energies as well. But more of this, I feel like, applies more to the masculine energy, right? You have to be the strong, tough person No, you don't. You could be if you're being true to yourself, but not if you're pretending to be something that you are not, okay? Because truth is what's going to set you free. For you, not for anybody else. Again, at the end of the day, this is about you. It's not about anybody else, right? And we can be strong and confident and still be sensitive and open and loving and vulnerable, right? We can be it all. That is the masculine and feminine energy balancing itself out. We all have it. Feminine, masculine. Masculine is the harder edged one. Feminine is the more soft, intuitive side. Could you imagine if you balance both those energies out? How much better you would feel. Because you're being you. When you can connect and when you can balance both those energies within yourselves, because we have that masculine and we have the feminine energy within ourselves. If you can balance both of those, can you imagine how powerful and victorious you could be? Serious. So you're not one-sided, like, I gotta be the tough masculine, or I gotta be the soft feminine. You could be both. You could be both. You could be boss, and you could be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with that. You should never feel ashamed for being sensitive. You should never feel ashamed for wanting the same things as the feminine energy. But at the end of the day, we just want to be loved, right? But you have to love yourself more by not taking that old conditioning and programming that was put into you to make you believe that you have to be stronger. You have feminine and masculine energy. You need to balance both. And when you balance both, you are so much better, so much more balanced, and so much more at peace. Because you're allowing yourself to be who you truly are, mixed with both, right? Sorry, I went on a tangent. It's just I feel bad for a lot of the masculine energies, you know, because they just feel like they have to be this strong person. And yeah, but the feminines have to be strong too. But we could be vulnerable too. But just mix it, put it together, So I didn't even show you the card, did I? Okay, so this is what showed up for my masculine energies. My collective masculine energy, conflict and defeat. Conflict and defeat. Look at this poor man. It looks like he's been through the damn ringer. He's looking at that light. It's like, oh, just shine that light on me. I want to see the light. That little candle there, when behind him he has that amazing light. That amazing light that's showing itself. He just doesn't see it because he's so much in mental conflict and feeling defeated. Because why? Because he's being what he thinks he's supposed to be instead of what he is, who he truly is. He's defeated. He's conflicted. But look up. Look behind you. Look at that light. It's there guiding you. It's there to guide you. Listen to your inner intuition. Listen to yourself. Sorry, that was a little dramatic, wasn't it? I just, I don't know. For whatever reason, today I really feel the masculine energy heavy. Like, oof, my third eye is like wide open. Like, I'm really connected to the masculine energy today. And there's so many masculine energies out there that are conflicted and in deep sadness and feeling defeated. You just got a validation. Like, I really feel your energy. I'm sorry. I'm going to send you love. I'm going to send you love. I'm going to send you good energy. My female energies, my feminine energies as well. I'm going to send it to both of you, okay? Because you need it, especially with this energies being so bad. But just know, it's okay. Don't stay here. Don't stay in that conflict. It's all temporary. And a lot of times, it's just created by ourselves. It's created by ourselves. By our own mental thoughts of who we're supposed to be, right? Who we think we're supposed to be. If we can get rid of that old conditioning and programming and just be true to who we are, we can get through this conflict. Now let's pick it and read it. Poor guys. It's okay. It's okay. Ooh, like, I'm feeling like deep hurt here. Wow, you got your energies, the masculine energy is intense. I just all of a sudden just overwhelmed myself with it. Sorry. I'm just trying to transmute it because it's heavy. I feel like I want to cry. It's like so serious. Don't be sad. It's okay. Okay. Here we go to my collective masculine energy. The number 5 mental card represents significant learning and change, and how you handle yourself at this time is vital to your overall well-being. This card could relate to a lack of sensitivity in taking action or in response to conditions or situations around you. This need for sensitivity could relate to you or someone else in your life. Ooh, my heart hurts. Oh, I feel you guys. I feel you. Sorry. Even though a battle can be won, it's important to evaluate the cost and pain to both parties. Sometimes it's best to surrender and walk away if no answer or victory can be achieved. Don't assign blame, become deceitful, or set out to get revenge, for this results in the negative energy becoming part of you. You're being tested on how delicately and gently you take your next step. Remember, everything in your life is an opportunity to learn and grow. So true, right? Every situation that we go through in our life, every experience is an opportunity to learn and to grow from it, right? If you choose to, because everyone has free will. Sorry. So no, masculine energies. It's okay to be vulnerable, you know? You don't have to be strong all the time. It's okay. Show yourself. Show who you really are. Be who you really are. You know? Become who you are supposed to be. Don't become what you think you were supposed to be. Don't become your father or your grandfather or your great-grandfather, because everyone is different and they had experiences and lessons as well. Some learned, some didn't. But be the aware masculine energy. The aware masculine energy, the aware masculine energy that's ready to make the changes, to change things from the way they've always been when it came to the masculine energy. Take the feminine energy within you and balance it out with your masculine energy, and you're going to feel such a difference. It's going to feel so freeing and empowering because you're being true to who you are, right? Really truthful. And it goes the same for the feminine energies. We don't always have to be a little sensitive, you know, and it's okay for us to be strong, you know. We should be strong. We should stand in our power. And I refer to myself as the feminine, although we have both. When both of my energies are together, I'm really imbalanced. When my masculine energy is in, that's the part that's like, I gotta get this done, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You know, it's like all of this mental conflict. But it's drive too. It pushes me forward. The masculine part of me pushes me forward. And I have to say, the masculine energy has also got me through a lot of things in my life as well. But don't be one-sided. You know, and I have a lot of females who are more masculine energies than they are feminine energies, right? So they always feel like they have to be in control. No, you don't have to always be in control. Let go. Balance masculine and feminine, and you're going to feel so much better. So we're going to end this long-ass video. But I hope you got something from it. I know, my beautiful flowers and my pretty little, my little birdie Pepino sitting there wanting to be acknowledged, feeling ignored. I tell you, sometimes pets are just like children, right? It's like they want to be acknowledged. Where you don't pay attention to me, I'm going to keep chirping until you do. I hear you, baby. I hear you. I know. I'm going to give you some kisses. Don't you worry. Kisses are coming. All right, so I just want to get a positive affirmation card. I enjoyed this video. I don't know why. I enjoy all my videos though. And you know, like I said, a lot of times when I start with the intentions that I'm going to do a video, usually I don't do a video unless I'm guided to do a video, right? And when I start the video, I don't even know half the time what I'm going to talk about. So usually I just channel. So whatever's came through was what was supposed to come through for today, you know. And I really feel like today has been a lot about relationships, you know, healing relationships with, you know, a significant other, healing a relationship, more importantly with ourselves. The relationship that we have ourselves is the most telling, the most important, because that's going to attract what we're supposed to be getting into our life, or what we're supposed to be doing. When you can have that relationship with yourself, where you can sit there and be with yourself and say, I went through this, I went through that, I feel these emotions. I'm going to allow myself to feel these emotions. I'm going to process them. I'm going to heal them, right? That's an important relationship with yourself, right? When you can have that relationship, it's like loving yourself, because that's what you're doing, ultimately. So I feel like, again, this has been big. This video has been big about relationships, because there have been so many sad people, feeling alone and so forth, And here, ending this long video, but needing to express Spirit's message. Oh, sorry, just keep dropping cards. I keep getting whacked in the head by my plant. I think it needs to be moved back a little bit. Okay, so to sum it all up and to leave you on a positive note, here is a positive vibe affirmation. When I believe in me, magic happens. It all comes down to believing in yourself, and only you can do that. No one else can do that for you, right? So believe in you. Believe in you. You are enough. You are amazing. You are all of the above, and you deserve the very best. Allow that magic to happen, and that magic will happen when you start to believe in yourself, and you start to have that relationship with yourself, and you start to understand that all your experiences were lessons that you needed to learn about yourself, right? So you can create the better version of who you are. So, my beautiful, lovely souls, thank you for stopping by. And it'd be nice if you watched the whole video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Reiki by Isabella. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Stop by, give me a like. And if you want to reach out with any questions or topics you would like to be discussed on an upcoming video, let me know. You can send me an email at reikibyisabella@gmail.com. And I thank you all for taking the time in your day to listen to me. I hope that you found this enjoyable, but also I hope that you found it to help you in whatever it is that you're going through. Love you all. Have an amazing, amazing day and a great weekend.